Transurfer and the Transurfing Curious. My name is Renee Garcia and this is TransurfingTV, and today, dun dun dun, a golden rule of transurfing for those of you that have forgotten. Now, for the most part, the transurfing community is pretty awesome, I have to admit, especially my Facebook group. I know there's a couple of other Facebook groups for transurfing that aren't nearly as awesome because there's a lot of weird defiance to this rule, the golden rule. Allow yourself to be you and allow others to be themselves. In the International Transurfing Institute Facebook group, people have been pretty chill, right? People have been pretty especially with all the political stuff and COVID and all these crazy energies that are circulating around us. A lot of the ITI community has really held very steadfast in their ability to transurf all this stuff, and I'm quite impressed. But I have noticed a couple of people, I'm not going to name any names, but I've noticed a couple of people really getting sucked in to the pendulum of politics and trying to battle other people and their beliefs. And I'm like, oh my God, do I actually need to do a lesson on this video? Apparently I do. We can all benefit from tuning our frequency a little bit more so to the golden rule of transurfing today, though. We really can, because if you think about it, we are, the majority of our problems or challenges come from our interpersonal relationships. So really allowing yourself to be you, but more so allowing others to be themselves, is kind of like the oil in a fine-tuned machine, right? That is an interpersonal relationship. Letting other people exist the way that they want and letting other people have their beliefs and not feeling the need to challenge another person's beliefs. This is really where, very beautiful, very nourishing relationships flourish. It's when we get into this combative thing that a lot of, toxic things happen and energy loss and all that kind of stuff, but I'm going to get into it more in a moment. Before I get started, remember to like this video and comment below. My world is taking care of me to enter my daily giveaway for my reprogramming stickers, Reality 2.0, link below. Check it out, y'all. And Facebook, join us on Facebook, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. So the reason I feel Vadim Zeland reiterates this, the golden rule of transurfing, why this is the golden rule of transurfing, is because we suffer a tremendous amount when we battle our realities. And again, most of our challenges, most of our problems come from our relationships. So a lot of times we get into these patterns where we feel as though it's important for other people to see things the way that we see things. And this is actually kind of interesting. If you want to trip out for a while, just try to think of why that's the case, why we feel the need to get others to adhere to our perspective, why that's a human characteristic, right? And I have, in the last few years, really come to understand the value of the saying, know thyself, right? Know thyself, because knowing yourself, knowing how you respond, knowing how you get triggered, knowing how you place importance on others adhering to your beliefs or following suit to what it is you do or your perspective on reality, knowing all that stuff, that intricate stuff about yourself, and focusing more so on understanding yourself rather than trying to get others to understand you, this is wildly liberating, like beyond anything I've ever encountered. Really, just anytime, like specifically with my partner or a friend or somebody I see in my everyday life, if I ever feel like there's some irritation, or I start to feel like I want to be combative in some way or argue or get the other person to understand me, I stop myself, I see my reality, and looking at why I'm doing that dissolves all of that tension, all of that negative energy, because it's really in me doing that, understanding myself, that I don't want to say affect my reality, that I can create my reality, right? Because you can't create reality for another person. You can only create reality for yourself. And there's energetic loss in trying to create reality for another person. But there's energetic liberty when you can learn how to do this for yourself, if that makes sense. So this is why I feel Vadim Zeland puts such emphasis on allowing yourself to be you and allowing others to be themselves. This is freeing, this is liberating, this releases you, this releases your energy. So this is four things that I've sort of boiled down to how and why this is valuable, and why, in my opinion, this is true, right? That your reality is better when you allow yourself to be you and you allow others to be themselves. So the first off is arguing is futile. This is something we forget. Even if you're an active transurfer, this is something that I've forgotten at times. Then when I remember, I'm like, oh my God, of course. And this is evidence to support all theories. There's such a vast, infinite amount of evidence and information and material in the alternative space that you could support any theory. You could gather evidence, information, and material to support any theory that you've decided to adopt. The same goes for other people. So arguing with someone politically is totally futile, because you've gathered evidence and information and material to support your theory, but so has the other person. So arguing with someone else when you really do believe that there is evidence to support all theories, it's like, what are you doing? And why are you doing it? And what is your intention? So the second part, duality sucks. This is, again, it comes down to, if you believe that there's evidence to support all theories, then nobody's right or nobody's wrong. Both people are right, right? If there's evidence to support all theories, both people are right. So if you believe that there is evidence to support all theories and both people are right, then you go about your reality throwing things into a pile. I'm right and they're wrong. That's faulty logic, right? You can't really have both. You can't believe that there's evidence to support all theories and then also believe in a dualistic way of thinking. Now, just to touch on this really quickly of why this statement, evidence to support all theories, is so valuable in the transurfing modality, is because if you don't like the reality that you are experiencing right now, it is because this is a theory that you've created, that your life is this specific way, that things are this specific way, and you have gathered evidence, information, and material to support that theory. But since there is evidence to support all theories, you could adopt a new theory about yourself and your reality and your life, and you could gather evidence, information, and material to support that theory. So this helps you in having this stance that there's evidence to support all theories. But then if you're going to believe it, then you got to live by it. right? You can't just take the good and then be like, oh, but I like so-and-so for my political candidate and that person's wrong. Well, if you're gonna buy into this one, you kind of have to buy into it hook, line, and sinker, right? The whole thing, evidence to support all theories. That means everyone's right because everyone has the ability to gather information, material, and evidence to support their theory. So duality sucks, right? Everybody's right. This is energetically way more effective than constantly either arguing or throwing things into the category of good or bad or right or wrong or whatever. This results in energy loss. Again, just accepting everything. Their opinion is their opinion. They're right. I'm right. There's no need to argue it. And letting everyone just be, this results in you having more energy, and this results in your relationships being better, so there's not always this energetic loss of, you know, arguing, not seeing eye to eye, there not being cohesion in the relationship, all that kind of stuff. Finally, frailing gets you the good stuff. Now, this is really like an offshoot part of this golden rule, but it's valuable. So if you're allowing yourself to be you and you're allowing others to be themselves, you are creating an environment where you're supporting another individual and being the true version of themselves that they want to be. Even if you don't necessarily like it or agree with it, it is you working with this person in your reality, in your life, to where you are viewed as agreeable, right? Because when you're disagreeable, that is showing your mirror something that you're gonna get, you know, if you're disagreeable towards somebody, they're gonna be disagreeable to you. And if you're disagreeable with your reality is going to be disagreeable back at you. Remember, everything that we put out, we get back. So if you really want to understand the depths of frailing and how much this concept can help you in creating your own reality, backing up off of others, allowing them to be who they want to be, allowing them to believe what it is they want to believe, allowing them to act the way that they want to act, allowing them domestically to do whatever they like to do, their level of cleanliness, their habits, whatever it is, and get yourself and whoever it is that you're trying to frail into an environment where you're viewed as an agreeable person. This is setting the stage for you to frail the other person. Now remember, when you frail someone, this is giving the other person exactly what they need so you can get what it is that you intend to have. So setting a relationship up to where you can frail, actively frail, and get the good stuff, this begins with allowing others to be themselves. You cannot argue somebody and not allow them to be themselves and at the same time frail. You have to really understand the value of letting a person be who they want to be, giving them what their intentions are so you can receive your intentions in turn, right? So this is kind of it. This is my breakdown of the golden rule of transurfing. Allow yourself to be you and allow others to be themselves. Arguing is futile. Duality sucks. There's evidence to support all theories. Be careful the energy loss that comes from arguing others' perspective, and frailing gets you the good stuff. Let me know what you think about this one, everybody. Like this video, comment below, join us on Facebook, and thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.